saw this massive half bug, half man looking statue that they would think to themselves,
I wonder what that's for. Kinda odd.
Hey guys, welcome back. If you are new here, hi, my name is Shayna, and in my little corner of the internet we talk about spooky history of all kinds. If that sounds like something you're interested in, be sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell because I am here for you on Wednesdays. Last week we talked about the hauntings that people tell on Reddit. There were some really good ones. If you missed it, I'll be sure to link it up here for you. Now I have a little announcement. There will not be a video this next Wednesday or the Wednesday right after Halloween. And that is because for 7 days leading up to Halloween, there's going to be a video a day. And I'm calling it my Hallow-week. And so I need time to get everything filmed, edited, scheduled. And if I feel that I skip a week, I'll be able to get all that done. So I just wanted to let you guys know. But now that that's out of the way, let's talk about the notorious Mothman. People first heard of the Mothman in 1966 and 1967 in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. The first reported sighting was on November 12th of 1966 in Clendenin. Probably not pronouncing that right, as usual, in West Virginia. A group of grave diggers working in a cemetery spotted something they thought was strange. Something huge soared over their heads. It was a massive figure that was moving very fast from tree to tree. They would describe this figure as a brown human being. Just 3 days after this first report was made, in a nearby Point Pleasant, West Virginia, two couples noticed a white-winged creature about 6 to 7 feet tall standing in front of the car they were sitting in. They claimed that it had bright red eyes that were about 6 inches apart, very specific, and it had this apparent urge to avoid the headlights of the car. They all stated that the creature was clumsy when it tried to run on the ground. Now, in the beginning, reporters were pretty skeptical about these sightings people were claiming to see. They would call it a big bird or a mysterious creature, but they couldn't ignore it much longer because over a span of 3 days after the initial claims, there were 8 additional sightings. This included 2 volunteer firefighters who described it as a very large bird with large red eyes. There are many theories on what the Mothman really is. First, some think it's a sandhill crane. Now, these cranes stand almost as tall as the average man, and they have bright red flesh around its eyes. Some believe that this particular crane was deformed, especially if it resided in this TNT area, which is a name that the locals gave a series of nearby bunkers that were once used for manufacturing munitions during World War II. They think that the bunkers may have leaked these toxic materials into the wildlife and could have affected some of the animals that live there. But some believe it was someone who pulled a prank and was appearing to be a Mothman. Now, a lot believe that the Mothman legend resembles several demon archetypes that are found among those who have experienced sleep paralysis, which may suggest that the visions are more than the embodiment of a typical human fear that could have been pulled from their unconscious minds. But honestly, there's a lot of people seeing the same thing, that doesn't really make sense. So that's just a theory. But I think that most people believe that the Mothman either warns people of something bad that's going to happen or is the cause of something bad that's going to happen. Now, here's the reason as to why they believe this. Just over a year after the first Mothman sighting, on December 15th of 1967, traffic on the Silver Bridge was bad. Now, this bridge was originally built in 1928, and it connected Point Pleasant, West Virginia to Gallipolis, Ohio. But on this particular day, it was packed full of cars. And this put a strain on the bridge, which had been built in a time when cars were much lighter. Now, the bridge's design featured very little redundancy, meaning if one part failed, there was almost nothing in place to prevent other parts from failing as well. Now, without warning, a single eye bar near the top of the bridge on the Ohio side cracked. Now, the chain snapped and the bridge fell to pieces, plunging cars and pedestrians into the icy waters of the Ohio River below. 46 people died, either by drowning or being crushed by the wreckage. Very sad. So following the Mothman sightings, the bridge collapsing was the second terrible and crazy thing to put Point Pleasant on the map. Now, ever since then, Point Pleasant is known as the home of the Mothman legend. As for the sightings of the Mothman, they have pretty much stopped since the late 1960s, but every now and then someone will come forward saying they saw the Mothman. Now in 2016, a man who just moved to Point Pleasant spotted a mysterious creature jumping from tree to tree. He told the local newspapers that he was unaware of this local legend, the Mothman, until he spotted the beast for himself. Which, have you seen this town? I'm pretty sure they have like Mothman museums like everywhere, and they have this huge statue of Mothman. You'd think if someone moved there and had no idea about the town, but they saw this massive half bug, half man looking statue, that they would think to themselves,
I wonder what that's for. Kinda odd.
but I guess he's just not as curious as I am. So there was a documentary that was made about the Mothman, and it was created by a man named Seth Breedlove. And he was asked why he decided to create a documentary about this creature. And here's what he said. I was having a conversation with someone about the Mothman story, and they pointed out some similarities between Mothman and other winged creatures throughout mythology. They made an interesting connection between the Mothman and banshees from Irish and Scottish folklores that involved this creature that heralds some sort of oncoming death or disaster, and typically has glowing red eyes. The interesting thing about that is, obviously, Appalachia and West Virginia especially was settled largely by Scot-Irish immigrants. Did those immigrants bring the folklore with them, and then it just gained a foothold and took on a life of its own over time? What really interested me was being able to look at not just a spooky creature story, but a bigger look at mythology and legends and folklore in general. Now, I'm not sure what it could have been. It seems like the sightings have really stopped, so it very well could have been an animal that people weren't used to seeing, or it could have been a demon showing itself to people for some reason. But either way, it's a fun mystery that I wanted to talk about. Just wanted to remind you that next week there won't be a video, and the Wednesday after Halloween there won't be a video. And I hope you're excited about the 7 videos that I have planned. I'm really excited about them. I've been working on them for a while, so I'm excited for you guys to see them. But that's it for me today, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give me a like, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because Halloween is coming up and I don't want you to miss any of the videos I have planned. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!